Hello there everyone, welcome back, and I'm here to be giving my reactions and predictions on the Game Awards 2020 nominations. Now, this is basically the game version of the Oscars, for movies, how you celebrate the year in film, or, like the Emmys. It's one of those big awards, and it started during this last generation for PS4 and Xbox One and etc. And it's basically, you have the categories like Game of the Year, Best Performance, Best Narrative, Score, etc. So I wanted to give some thoughts on some of these categories, and I'm happy for some of the results and who I think will win and stuff like that. Now, obviously there's a lot of categories and a lot of, I saw there was a lot of stuff on esports and all. I just want to say I'm not going to talk about every single category, but if I don't really have that much to say on the category, I won't really mention it. But I just want to say congratulations to everyone who is nominated and all that. Really cool stuff. But without further ado, I'm going to start giving my thoughts on some of the categories. So the first category I'll talk about was Best Action and Adventure. Now, of course here, it's throughout a lot of these categories, it's really stacked up in the quality of games that are nominated. I mean, I could just do a cop-out and say every category that The Last of Us Part 2 is in should win, but I'm going to be fair. Now, Last of Us Part 2, for this category in particular, I think would be really great, but seeing as how an Assassin's Creed game is in this category, and I haven't really played that much of it as I have with, Last of Us, but I've played a good few hours in it, and I think it's a whole lot of fun, and it's a really great, honestly, I wouldn't be upset if either Assassin's Creed or Last of Us Part 2 won. And, I mean, Spider-Man's in here, and I just reviewed that, and it was such a good game, and I'm shocked that I didn't get as many nominations. But, I mean, the action, it's basically perfected and similar to the last Spider-Man game. So if you love that, it's basically more of that. I mean, nothing really new per se. They added some new stuff, but, again, that Ghost of Tsushima with the sword gameplay and stuff, different stances to attack your enemies, all really solid choices. Honestly, it could be a toss-up between any of those four in my opinion. Okay, so real quick, I'll talk about art direction. I mean, me personally, I would say Last of Us Part 2, but Ghost of Tsushima, from what I played a whole lot of that game, and it's just so gorgeous. It's such a fantastically looking game. So is Last of Us Part 2 in its aspects, but Ghost of Tsushima, because there's different renders that you could play it in. I played it in this old film tint, this black and white film tint, to honor this one Japanese filmmaker that they got references and stuff from, and that game just looks remarkable. It just really put you into the setting. So honestly, as much as I love Last of Us 2, I think Ghost of Tsushima should win this one. Best game direction? I'm gonna go with Last of Us Part 2 on this one, because it just feels like I'm gonna be repeating myself a lot, because I'm either gonna say for a lot of these Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, but I mean, Last of Us Part 2 I played a good 3 or 4 times, and I never got tired of it. And just how it just really clicked with me, if you know what I'm saying. I know the game got a lot of hate and stuff, but I haven't really had as much enjoyability with Ghosts, especially because of what happened, because during my playthrough, there was this glitch that happened where I got a good halfway through the story, and the mission stopped popping up for me. And I tried refreshing and stuff, and apparently it was a glitch, so I had to either restart my data or stop playing, which really frustrated me. So I didn't really get as much playtime in it as I did for Last of Us. For best multiplayer, I'm honestly happy for Fall Guys, because it kind of blew up for a second, and then when Among Us came out, no one really talked about it anymore. But I had a whole lot of fun on Fall Guys, and I thought it was a blast, but I think it's obvious Among Us is going to win this category. I know it's going to be Among Us, but I'm glad Fall Guys got a nomination. Also, I know a whole lot of people that still play Warzone for some reason, but I mean, that's cool that they got nominated too. I mean, let's be real here. Despite what you want to win, me personally, I want Fall Guys. It's going to be Among Us, I feel, just because of how people still talk about it, the popularity of it, how it's like people still play it and stuff. I mean, still people still play the other stuff, but Among Us is still in the conversation like a lot. So I feel like Among Us will win. For best narrative, Last of Us Part 2, like that, like I love the uniqueness of it because for them to take the risk and chances that they did with that game and the different perspectives and how like it just like feels like really interwoven and how it's kind of told out of order and stuff, but it still makes sense in a way. And you could see both sides of the coin. I really do love that type of storytelling. And I think here, some of the risks weren't perfect, but I loved what they did and what worked. So I really would love for this game to win. But again, Ghost of Tsushima, it's like a really human and emotional story about, you know, fighting for your honor, saving your family and stuff like that. Like really great stuff. Like both these games in particular have phenomenal stories. Best performance. Now, honestly, it could go to anyone in this category and I wouldn't be truly upset, except for the Hades one, but I've never replayed that game, so I can't really judge it. But I'm glad that the guy that plays Miles got nominated because he was truly great, and he basically, like, he was able to hold the game on his own, you know, so that was really cool. But I think it's going to come down to Ashley Johnson and Laura Bailey, but the guy from Ghost of Tsushima was also great. But Ashley Johnson and Laura Bailey, they like that, those two performances are some of the best I've ever seen in game. And like it was like, especially Ashley Johnson, whoa, like that scene, the scene with Joel, if you know what I'm talking about, that scene was some of the best acting, me personally, I've seen in quite a long time, just in any media. Like it was so gut-wrenching, emotional, heartbreaking, and she really just went all in for this role, I feel. So I really hope and think that the major award that Last of Us will win, if they lose a lot of stuff, I think the major one will be for her for best performance, because she, quite the performance, like it was fantastic, like really great. For best score and music, it's kind of unfair for me in this category because a lot of these nominees I haven't replayed and stuff, but Last of Us Part 2, it's really horrific music, but it's also really haunting and beautiful at the same time. Like the same guy that did the first game came back for this. His score is not as good as the first games, I feel, but some of the music pieces in this game are truly stellar and deserving of the recognition. Now, real quick, I'll talk about Content Creator of the Year. Now, I don't really know any of these people except Tim the Tatman because I watched some of his Fall Guy videos and some of his Modern Warfare videos. Now, I'm just going to say I want him to win because his Fall Guy videos are so funny. His fail montage video was the funniest thing. I loved it so much. It's great. Fantastic. Give him the win, please. Yes. And of course, we're at the main one, Game of the Year. I want it to be Last of Us 2 so bad, but I'm really skeptical if it'll win because a lot of people hate that game. Like a lot of people do not like it. If it does win, that'll be fantastic and I'll love it. If it doesn't, I think Ghost of Tsushima is a choice. But there could be a possibility, since I know a lot of people love Animal Crossing, maybe some crazy universe, that game will win somehow. But yeah, I think the main two will be between is Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2, and a side chance that Animal Crossing can maybe take the win. Those are the main three I think that are competition for the award. Could Doom Eternal win or any of these other games nominated? Of course, that's why they're nominated. But it's like with the Oscars, like you have 9 categories, you know, nine movies can be nominated. You have the main contenders, and then you have that one or two that was just nominated to be nominated, you know, to fill up the slots. That's kind of like with here, like the main contenders is Ghost, Last of Us, and maybe Animal Crossing. I'm only saying that because I know that game was popular and people loved it. So you never know, honestly, with this type of stuff. But with all that said, those are my thoughts on the nominees and my reactions and predictions on what will win some of these categories. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I just wanted to do a video talking about this because it's really like this, like last year there wasn't really that much for me to really talk about. I didn't really play that many of the games nominated, but here I have a lot of games that I really do enjoy and thought were great. So I'm really glad that a lot of these games are getting the recognition they deserve. Again, thank you all so much for watching this video, and if you want to hit the subscribe button, that'd be really nice, and hit the bell as well to get notified when I upload. And if you want to comment down below what you think will win some of the categories, what you want to win some of the categories, please do so as well. Again, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!